Hello. Normally I would probably do something on politics or try to think of something social. I got a lot of social stuff I guess I could talk about, but this will be different. This will be its own playlist. It's not going to be in the months that I normally do. It's not going to be miscellaneous. This is going to have its own. It's going to be the Atheist Dragon. That's what it is. That's going to be the new thing. And I will definitely, in this one, I'm going to tell the I'm gonna brief it up though. The story of why I'm an atheist in the first place. From my rhetoric and a lot of other videos, you could tell that I'm just not a religious person. I I don't know. I know a lot of religious people, but I'm just not religious myself. So I guess let's just jump into that. Then why am I an atheist? Why is Cedric Kennedy an atheist? Okay, here goes. When I was a kid in school, growing up, you're automatically taught about Jesus and God and that they love you and you need to pray to them. So every night, mom would have me kneel at the side of my bed and pray. I didn't know what to pray for, but I prayed. I prayed for mom to be healthy, dad to be healthy. I prayed for uh, people to like me, for everyone to get along with everybody. That's what I wanted. That was my whole point. And that's just what you do. That's you go to church, you pray to God, you pray to Jesus. You do everything you can to go to heaven. You make sure you stay away from things that'll send you to hell. And I did those things. I prayed. I believed that God was listening to me or Jesus was listening to me. As a kid, I really believed it. Deep down inside, it was a fact that this being existed, that this being or these beings were listening to me. And I really wanted them to hear me, and with all of their infinite power, to help me and everyone else. Me first, of course, but I wanted them to help everyone else. When I got older, around eight and a half, summer 8, something like that, that's when it kind of switched to I wanted everyone else to be happy, not just me first, but everyone else first to be happy and get along. So all this time going to church and all this time going to school, and it was just hard to get people to be around me as they were around others. I wanted someone to acknowledge my existence. It's what I wanted. I wanted someone to say, hey, you exist. Not literally like that, but they run around all the other kids. All the other kids got attention and people played with them and flocked to them. And I was wondering, what could I do to make them flock to me? Because I followed everyone. I just trailed behind and followed. And every time I started trying to play with them, they'd move to somewhere else. So, okay, dang, what am I doing wrong? Why doesn't anyone like me? So at church, I could run around with the other kids, but they didn't want to run around with me after church. When I couldn't hang with them, they didn't want to be around me. I would try to hang with the adults. And although it's a lot of chatter, they would tell me to be quiet. It's not a time of talking, while they, ran their mouths. And then they would just say, go play, go play, go play. Don't be in here with all these old people. Go play, go play. So, oh man. So I can't go play with the kids. I can't be around the adults. So I have to be alone. Don't be alone. Why y'all alone? Nobody's going to like you if you're alone. God don't like people that sit by themselves. Jesus ain't going to love you if you're just going to sit there and mope all day. God and Jesus love those that love themselves and love everybody else. Okay. So, okay, get out and do my thing. Okay. I chase them. They run from me. Not necessarily running from me, I guess. Okay. Just to be blunt about it, it's around the church. You see a pack of kids. There might be 7 to 12 kids. So you go over there to see what they're doing, what they're talking about. You listen and they kind of look at you and they, curl their lips, smack their teeth, and all the other stuff, suck on their teeth, smack their lips, then they walk off. And it's like, okay, but mom and them said I gotta play with you guys, so can I join in? They wouldn't say anything, and then they'd run off, or they'd walk off. One went as far as to shove me back by my shoulder, and I got it. I wasn't wanted, but I didn't know what else to do. I got to do what mom says, and it's weird. I wasn't so afraid of going to heaven or hell, and I wasn't afraid of Jesus not loving me or anything, but damn it, I can't get out of this. I got to do what mom says, and we're at church, and you're kids, let's play. But that didn't work. So school was different. School was me doing pretty much the same thing at church. And there was this girl, April Henderson, who just abused me. And when I fought back, I got in trouble. I prayed every night that this would end, that this would stop. And it never ended. It just would not go away. It would not stop. So I think I was, by the time I turned 9, this went on from, age, this was going on since I think I was 6, 5.5, 6. So, 6.5 tops. I know I was in, it was before K1. And I just couldn't get my footing. I just could not. I didn't fit in for too long. So I ultimately, in going to church when I turned 9, after 9, the summer I was 9.5, it got to me. There were things that I heard mom say. Things that I heard in the church. In church, I was too worried about how it was terrible in church. But just sitting there, it was just terrible. But I heard things. The preacher would say it. Mom and others would say it. You hear it. So when I went outside with mom, we was leaving church. This was by my elementary school, a former elementary school that's been revamped, massively revamped. In terms of structure, how it's built, not teaching codes or no. But I asked mom a very direct question. I'm in my little suit that's highly uncomfortable for varying reasons. And I asked her a very straight up question. Actually, it was about 2 of them. And I asked, does God come first? And she was like, yes. And I'm like, okay, so God comes first. And so I pictured and thought of everything that I had went through up to that point. And I asked her the next question. Just as we was nearing the Volvo, small blue Volvo, I asked her, does God come before me? She paused just for a second. She says, yes. And I went through a silent meltdown, just like a lot of kids will do, because you're just taught not to say anything to your parents that they would disagree with. You learn that. So I remember walking, getting to the car. So all that summer, I was really thinking, okay, actually, it wasn't even all that summer. The summer, I'd already had my beliefs settled. It's just that day it was heaviest, but it kept going throughout the summer. When I mean summer, I mean like after school got out, not official day of summer. No, this is the Sunday after school got out. And I was like, man, where I don't fit in. I don't even fit in with mom. Is that why she's not? That's why she's not around me like that? Is that why she don't? I figured that she didn't like me because she wasn't around me. She didn't want to be around me too much. She didn't want to do things. Unless, I was tagging along or she was showing me off to somebody. So I realized some things. One, because I also listen to others. I listen to others talk about how God and Jesus spoke to them and, their words reached them so strongly. And I'm like, they have never spoke to me. Why have they never spoken to me? As I didn't know the word, I didn't understand the meaning, but I thought maybe they were speaking metaphorically, like maybe they spoke to these deities, but the deities spoke back in their own way. But when they mentioned words, their words struck me. Their words were so strong. And I listened to what they had to say. And I'm like, that sounds like I'm 9.5. I'm 9.5. So I'm like, they don't talk to me. I pray so much. I pray so much. And I mean what I think and what I say. I mean it. I mean, I can't mean it anymore. There was no fleeting words. There's no, oh, this sounds cool. Oh, that sounds cool. Oh, that sounds cool. Like a kid, like, I want this toy. You want that? Yeah. And they walk a little further. Oh, I want this toy. Oh, I thought you wanted the last toy. No, I like this one. Look over. Oh man, that's really cool. I saw it on TV. I want that toy. No, my words I meant. And I stood by them 1,000,000,000%. But no one spoke to me. I never heard the words from Jesus or God. I never heard their words. I didn't understand why and see, to me, it was God and Jesus spoke to everyone but me. Just like the kids played with everyone but me. The adults talked and had fun and laughed with everyone but me. The kids in the classroom could do lots of things and hurt me and sometimes each other, but I could not do it back. I could not, and it wasn't me just, oh, I want to be a jerk too. No, I mean like self-defense. I mean, how much of a beating can one take before fighting back becomes the obligated thing to do? So I was like, it just hit and it was really strong. Either God and Jesus downright hate me, or it's all a lie. And hearing how mom would talk to some people and hearing the words of other people when I'm standing around corners of booths and stuff and hearing what they have to say, but then when they get around certain people, their words change. I then started believing that everyone that went to church were liars. And mom told me lying was wrong. So I didn't want to be around that. So and yes, it's egotistical. It is. I want some attention. I want some love. I want some words of affirmation. I want to be more than just somebody's problem. So yes, I wanted some positivity in my life, and I wasn't getting it physically or ethereal. It was not happening. So yes, I gave up on a lot. I gave up on a lot and just started taking things under my own accord. And 9.5, the summer when I was 9.5, let's see, that would be 1984, the summer of 1984. I had given up. It wasn't that I was like, oh, I'm mad at you, God. I'm mad at you, Jesus. You didn't give me what I want. I'm mad. No, it wasn't. I wasn't angry. I wasn't mad. It just made sense that if they don't believe in me, I can't believe in them. The kids don't want to be my friends, then I don't want to be their friends. Although, honestly, tangibly, that never stopped I kept trying. It was hard to stop. It took a lot. Years way beyond 1984 before I was able to just say, I can't do this. And I had to be strong for myself. Because nobody's going to be strong for me. Nobody's going to be my advocate. All I had was myself. So, no brothers, no sisters. And the way it felt, no parents, unless it was time to be disciplined. So I just stopped believing. There was nothing to believe in. There was no reason to believe. I had no proof. Everyone talks about him coming down. God came down and he stood at my side. He told me the right and the wrong, and he told me what would be with the devil. He told me to stay away from him. The devil will do what he can to get in your life. Stay away from him. And I'm like, man, you really going all out at it. Is this true? But there was no God. There was no Jesus. And I looked at the podiums, and I looked at the stage. I looked at the flowers. I looked at a lot of stuff. I just could not wrap my mind anymore about God and Jesus being real. I'm like, why is there pictures and statues and little figurines of Jesus, but none of God? What? And so to me, it was logical. I wasn't angry. I'm not even angry today. I was never angry at or about Jesus or God. I never had that. What I had was, I don't have any evidence that this being exists or ever lived or anything. I mean, I felt the same way about Superman. I saw the movie, there in later, when it finally came on TV, but there's Superman, there's Batman and all of them, but they don't exist. And I figured God and Jesus are just characters, and that's really all. The Bible was a book because the Bible didn't make sense. Everyone in church, they open up your Bibles and read this one verse. Close it. Don't read any further. I didn't understand, because everything that was said was, okay, what it means is this. I'm like, okay, I was taught definitions were definitions. I mean, that's it. A definition is a definition. I mean, if something means something, is straightforward, is short, it makes sense, and you move on. When you have to fully interpret something, then it, to me at the time, I'm like, it's fully flawed. I didn't know the word flawed. I just knew that it was not right. So that's it's brief. I left out a ton of detail, but yeah, that's how I became an atheist. Well, in truth, that's how I returned to being an atheist. I don't practice being an atheist. So to me, there's no atheism. I don't practice it. I just am. I mean, I don't practice being an African American just as much as no one practices being Caucasian. No one practiced being Asian. No one practiced being Middle Eastern. You just are. And you move in life with your interest. And God and Jesus and the devil and all that just wasn't my interest anymore. And there was no evidence. There was no proof. Physically, mentally, nothing. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is going to sum that up for me. I know this was long, but I figured I would just tell the entire thing. And I might do more. I don't know. But just full disclosure, this is also me opening up the doors for later on when I want to do comments on certain things that deal with religion and stuff. And yes, I may come across exceedingly angry. I might come across with such great venom against religion. It's just, religion to me is something that was good. I mean, per se, but then it got destroyed. You know, it's a working spiked death meal and you can't get out of its way. And everyone that's a part of it is definitely going to grind you up because they outnumber you. You are one person on this planet, and this sawmill has millions of teeth. In some cultures, billions. You just have to deal and hope that you are awesome and quick enough to get out of the way from being chewed up, because no sword can cut something without becoming a bit dull itself. Thank you for listening.